Hey everybody, it's James here with the Sawyer Family Reviews channel. Today is a rainy Wednesday, February 26th, 2020, and this is your weekly comic book pickups video. Every week, I pick up my kids some comics. They're 17, 13, and 5, and I get some comics for me as well, and I'm 41. But I always pick up my comics at Queen City Comics in Fairfield, Ohio, zip code 45014. If you're in the area and into comics, check out the shop. Here's what we got this week. All right, first of all, True Believers. These are, of course, $1 reprints, classic Marvel stories that are tied into something that's currently going on in comics. In the case of these, they're tying into the Ironman 2020 event. The year is 2020. There was an Ironman 2020, so they're doing all these Ironman 2020 books. This one is a reprint of Ironman Issue 118, if I remember right. Yep, Ironman 118, and it's the first appearance of Rhodey, James Rhodes, who would become War Machine later on. This is David Michelini on the plot, John Byrne on the layouts, with Bob Layton doing finishing art. It's a classic Iron Man tale. There's your first appearance of Rhodey right there. There's a cool sequence where he gets thrown out of a helicopter or something. A helicarrier, maybe? A helicarrier? Yeah. And he's got to put his armor on as he's in free fall. That's a cool sequence. Yeah, that's fun. And, of course, it's only $1. That's the only True Believers this week, so that was easy enough. This is a pretty heavy week, actually. Well, it's not super heavy, but it's pretty good. Next up is Gracie's Little Mermaid Issue 3, $3.99 from Disney. This is or Dark Horse Comics, right? Dark Horse and Disney, $3.99. This is an adaptation of the Little Mermaid movie, and it's by Cecil Castellucci with art by Zalima Scatta Lavina. Living La Vina Loca. Yeah, this is cool. She likes these because she loves Little Mermaid. And this is kind of a way where she can carry around the movie with her. Instead of having to be in front of a TV screen to see the movie, she can just have the movie in her hand. All right. This is for me. This is one of those Marvel facsimile editions. The difference between Marvel facsimile editions and the True Believers, first of all, is the price. True Believers are $1. Facsimile editions are $3.99. The other major difference is, of course, that True Believers have current advertisements in them, which makes it so that the book can only be $1, whereas the facsimile editions have all the vintage ads reprinted, so it's exactly as it was, or as close as you can get to how it was when it first came out. The cover stock is a little thicker than the original books were, so is the paper quality. Instead of being on newsprint, it's on like the slick current paper. This is a reprint of Wolverine #1 from the regular series, which is by, what now? This is Impossible. Did I get it? I got it. Good. Chris Claremont doing the writing and John Buscema doing the pencils. Eventually, like this, look at this vintage G.I. Joe ad. That's fun. Don't fill this out because this offer is only good through December 31st, 1988. So if you want to get your own fridge, here's how. But you can't. You can't do it. Yeah, so this is a great book. Really fun. I like these facsimile editions. Yeah, they're $3.99, but they're getting no advertising dollars. It's like picking up the book back then. You get all this stuff, too, like the bullpen bulletins, letters pages, that kind of stuff. Vintage ads. Oh, I remember this ad so vividly. I had a subscription to X-Men from one of these ads. So let's check it out. Where's it at? It's probably like right in my face, and I'm not even seeing it. X-Men. $9, 14 issues. I had that subscription. Yeah, good stuff. Okay. This book is for me, X-Men Fantastic Four #2. I'm currently caught up on books, so I can immediately read this. I enjoyed the first issue. So the gist of the story that's happening here is Franklin Richards, who seems a lot older than the last time I read him. He's a mutant, and his powers are deplenishing, like his powers are going away. He doesn't want them to go away, and Reed is not solving the issue, like he hasn't come up with a solution. So the mutants on Krakoa, the X-Men, they want to go and get Franklin and help him figure out what's wrong with his powers, because they're the experts or whatever. So they try to get Franklin, but the Fantastic Four doesn't want to let Franklin go, so it turns into a fight, and then Franklin goes off, and him and Val stow aboard Kitty Pryde ship or something, and now he's secretly joining up with the X-Men. And this is first of all, it's $3.99, and it's written by Chip Zdarsky and art by the Dodsons, even though I can't find that credits page. So I'm sure there's going to be another big fight. Chip Zdarsky and Terry Dodson do the pencils. So I'm assuming there'll be another Fantastic Four fight at some point. They ran into Doom. Doom's going to be involved. Yeah. The Fantastic Four were actually quick to fight in the first issue, actually. It was more like the Fantastic Four that instigated the fight than it was the X-Men. This one is Giant Size X-Men, Jean Grey and Emmett Frost by Hickman and Dowderman. This is $4.99. I guess these are going to be like one-shot deals, these Giant Size X-Men, about various X-Men characters. I could be wrong on that. Don't take my word for it. But it's Jean Grey and it's Emma. I'm curious to see their relationship. Is there like no words in this book? There's no word bubbles. I guess because they're psychics, so they can hear each other. Okay. So that's going to take like 5 minutes to read. New Mutants came out this week, and I skipped it because it was one of the Ed Brisson issues with the New Mutants team here on Earth. And I was like, you know what? I just got done getting caught up on the Hickman run. If it would have been another Hickman issue, I'd have kept going, but it wasn't, so I was like, that's it. No more New Mutants. So that's gone. I'm down to X-Men and X-Force. And then these specials, like Fantastic Four, X-Men, Giant Size X-Men, that kind of stuff. So here we've got X-Men number 7. This is for me and for Keaton by Hickman and Lynell Francis Yu. I'm going to turn down my heat a little bit. Let's see. So this has been kind of hit or miss. It's been a little all over the place. There's been some standalone stories. Some are really good. Some are a little bit on the boring side. Who we got here? Melody Guthrie, Paige Guthrie, Sam Guthrie, Josh Guthrie. So we got some Guthries. Cyclops, Wolverine, Cypher, Nightcrawler, Exodus, and Apocalypse. I couldn't tell you what this issue has to do with the last issue because it may not have anything to do with the last issue. Yeah, it feels like this is kind of jumping around a little bit. So this issue may have nothing to do with the one that came before. I like X-Force better. X-Force is more coherent. It feels like it's a more linear story where it's like all these things are happening in a row that feed off of each other. And I think X-Men's kind of a little all over now. I really liked House of X and Dawn of X. I thought those were a lot of fun. But I think the books are now slipping down into, okay, I'm getting a little tired of the resurrection. I'm getting tired of the X-Men being the bad guys. I'm getting tired of there being no evil mutants and good mutants. It's just already kind of feeling like it's running its course a little bit for me, especially in the X-Men book. But who knows? This is for Blaze. I only got Blaze one book this week because it was really hard to even find a second book. So this time around, Keaton got a couple books and Blaze only got the one book. But it's a book he really loves, so that's good. This Sean Murphy and Matt Hollingsworth Batman Curse of the White Knight, which is a sequel to Batman the White Knight. He really likes these books. I think he's reread the first trade already again, and he's going back and rereading the other issues again, maybe. I think that's what he said. They also just McFarlane Toys debuted some Batman White Knight figures at Toy Fair, and that was the thing that got him most excited from Toy Fair, was those Batman White Knight figures. Everything else was kind of just like, yeah, that's cool, that's neat, but I don't need it. This is $4.99. This is our first $4.99 book. Actually, I take that back. X-Men was $4.99. Then we've got X-Force. This is for me and for Keaton. This is my favorite X book. This is $3.99 by Benjamin Percy and Basil Dua. And this one's been really good, where there's been this extreme group that hates mutants, and they kidnapped Domino, and they cut chunks off of her, and they were putting on other people. Now we've got a reverse Domino that the original Domino's going after. It's had intrigue, it's had excitement, it's had really good art, it's had mystery. This book has been what feels the most like an old school X book, and it's left out a lot of the whole the mutants on Krakoa versus the world type of thing, as opposed to, the dealing with the United Nations and all that stuff. It's just been kind of action-packed so far, and that's why I believe I like this one the most. It feels the most like X-Men versus clear bad guys, where the X-Men don't feel like the bad guys in the story. And then, last but not least, is a X-Men Milestones trade. This one is Operation Zero Tolerance. This just came out today. I also was supposed to get the Excalibur Epic Collection that came out today, but I guess I forgot to order it because it didn't come in, so I had to put a new order in for it. This is $39.99 and collects Generation X 27, X-Men 65 through 70, Uncanny X-Men 346, Wolverine 115 through 118, and Cable 45 through 47 with a large cast of people that worked on them. My favorite is the Carlos Pacheco. I really liked Carlos Pacheco's art at this point. I still like Carlos Pacheco art, but back then especially, it was like, wow, this is really cool art. I really like his art. So this is Bastion and the Operation Zero Tolerance storyline. Marrow and Maggot. Man, I really wanted... There was originally going to be a Maggot figure from the X-Men line. This guy right here. Whose mutant ability is these maggot things come out and they can, like, eat through anything, if I remember right. I really wanted this figure. They showed him for the X-Men... I want to say it's Flying Fighters, maybe, line. And the line got canceled, so there was no Maggot figure. That would have been cool. I would still buy a Marvel Legend of Maggot if they were made him. Yeah, so that is it this week. Like I said, it's a pretty decent week. Pretty good amount of stuff. Slowly trimming back some of these X books, though. They're getting left by the wayside. So this is a book I'm looking forward to. Well, it's either X-Force or Fantastic Four. I did really like Fantastic Four X-Men. I thought it was fun. X-Force has been consistently great, though. So, what are you guys reading? Leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, notify, all that stuff. And I'll see you guys next week.